flex, 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 yow, flex,
Shout out to all the fellas who are to my left. Thank you for tuning in twice again to the Viewturistic YouTube channel. Let me rap to you, boy. Let me rap to you, boy. Make sure you shoot me a text message if you have any questions or if you want us to discuss any topics at 414-292-7258. At 414-292-7258. Yo, what up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to the Viewturistic YouTube channel. We're sitting here with Leilani today from BeOutspoken Designs, back at you with another episode talking about some of my favorite people, especially my favorite people in the city of Milwaukee, where I was born and raised, my stomping grounds. Giving us a chance to hear their story about where they came from, what they're doing now, and the big things that they got coming up in the future. I'm DJ Adamocity. Once again, this is Leilani, and we're gonna jump right into it. So, Laylo, that's what I call her. Leilani Lopez. I call her Laylo. Just tell the people a quick snippet. Where you from, what you're doing right now, and then we'll jump into some more after that.
I am born and raised in Milwaukee, just about all over the city, the east side, north side, south side. Right now I am
a typical Leilani day. What that look like?
I'm a mama, right? I think that's number one when you're a parent. I'm a hustler, so I mean, I work a basic 9 to 5 right now, right? But it's my peace, it's my calm, because when you do community work and you're vocal about your stance on things that affect the everyday lives of people, it's very exhausting work. It's trying. You don't really get compensated for it, right?
A whole bunch of thankless work, right?
Exactly. Combine that with screen printing, trying to build a business with little for-profit background. I'm a whole nonprofit kind of background, education, all that, and just trying to really educate folks on social justice through the art of screen printing.
Word. So I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about where BeOutspoken Designs came from. I think I bought my first shirt from you back in like 2014, I think, and that's when I had first moved out to Las Vegas, and I really started getting homesick of Milwaukee. And you came out with the 414 Forever shirts, and I was like, I gotta have one of them shits. So like the name BeOutspoken Designs, like where I'm pretty sure some history behind that. Tell us a little bit about where that name came from as it relates to the designs that you make and to your brand.
Yeah, so anybody that knows me, I think, knows that that's a very fitting name. I would say so. I've always had an opinion, and more so when it affects. You kind of throw around the term social justice, right? And it kind of like loses its meaning, I think, after a while. But it's essentially that, like, anything that's just like not okay or hurts somebody or oppresses people, I have an opinion about it. And so through my work in nonprofit, I've been working in nonprofit since I was in college at the very least. I had to become vocal about a lot of things. And meanwhile, I was trying to make ends meet, and I had tried to help other folks get their businesses going, and I was finally like, well, I can do this. I can make a couple dollars, print a couple shirts, but I would want it to be more than shirts eventually. What would I call it? And it's about me. It's something I'm doing. It's a message I want to send, outspoken, and that's where the name and the whole idea kind of spawned.
Okay, I mean, it's definitely fitting for the time right now. I know you personally, so I know it fits your personality as well.
And it was back in 2012.
Okay, I mean, like, you know, you damn near were probably prophetic because 2012. I mean, there's always been social justice issues to address in our country, like in the history of this entire country. I actually have a background on the social justice work as well, so we kind of talking the same language right now.
Well, didn't we take the class together at
UWM?
Oh, at Riverside with Wild, with Mr. Wild.
No, I didn't have that.
You didn't have that class with us?
I didn't.
I know we talked about knowledge class with you. I know you heard about knowledge.
Oh yeah, I know about the class. I know about the class.
Okay.
So, you know, you started in 2012. Fast forward 5 years, 2017. It's a lot of, you know, a lot of social justice shit going on right now. What would you say is like your number one concern right now as it relates to social justice, and how does that tie into what you're doing with Outspoken? Man,
I'm still trying to get focused. My identity is complex, and so then my passion is complex. So I have I think it's going in the direction of the things that are happening in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But they're just everything's so global and so universal and tied together to like this basic premise of oppression of people, imperialism, which people, you know, you get to say stuff like that and like, oh my gosh, you're nuts, right?
Right.
But that's essentially, if you want to say get focused, that's what it is, right? But whatever. Anyway, so Puerto Rico, I think what's happening there, they're ultimately dumping toxic ashes, and I think that the colonial status of the island is something that, as a kid, that's probably what got me into like race, identity, social justice, and this entire journey. So, you know, definitely I want to focus on that struggle and supporting folks on the island, getting my little piece of land and stuff like that. I would love to have, you know, little piece of land, do some screen printing, flip some shirts and stuff. And
you kind of answered my next question, but before I get to the next question, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all can see this big Puerto Rican flag in the background. Tell us a little bit about your ties to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so both of my parents and everybody as far back as we know was, you know, born and raised in Puerto Rico. We're actually person I went to high school with too when I started at King. We're doing a documentary on growing up Puerto Rican in Milwaukee. But the family came to Milwaukee. I've been born and raised here forever, and that's pretty much where I go, between Puerto Rico and Milwaukee, back and forth. My dad's still there, siblings. So, you know, that's home, just like Milwaukee is home.
Definitely. And then do you have, are you currently now, or do you have any like concrete plans in the making of bringing like your social justice concerns and Outspoken Designs into the Puerto Rican community in Milwaukee? How does that look right now for you?
I think through the documentary I'll be able to build that. I don't think in Milwaukee I've had, other than my family and like close friends, a tight-knit Puerto Rican community. I feel like we lost that a while ago, and that's something that we're going to be exploring. But you don't see it like before. You knew it was like the east side. You go to the east side, find Puerto Ricans on the east side. Pueblo food now has like a little section. I'm like, where's the Puerto Rican side? What is life? But I think that through that, you know, we'll make something happen. We have a meeting coming up Tuesday with one of the folks that organizes the Puerto Rican festival in Milwaukee. We want to kind of do a street campaign. I always want to incorporate screen printing, so we're thinking, you know, some interview questions, right? A couple points, catch it on camera, and I don't know, man, if we can just screen print something and give it folks to go. You know, it's new. Screen printing, I think, is pretty new for folks still. But they think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little something that, you know, me and my brother dabble in a little bit, but you're the expert by far.
No.
So in our later segment, when we take you down to where all the magic happens, you know, I'm probably going to be starstruck. Yeah, absolutely. So, Viewturistic, it's all about, you know, for those of you who don't know what Viewturistic actually means, it's a combination of the words view and future. It's how you view your future. So everything that we do, we take it from a perspective of where you've been, how that shaped where you are right now, and how where you are right now is going to project where you go tomorrow. So let's say tomorrow Outspoken becomes a $1 billion organization. What's what you gonna spend the first $1 million on?
Millie. Marketing.
How soon?
Marketing and graphics. Get it out there. Let's do this.
Okay, word.
I
First
think
Millie on Millie. I like that.
No.
We might have to get Millie on camera later.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean the first $1 million, I would just love to. I think that the idea for Outspoken, the heart and the passion is there, and we just have to put it on the right platform.
Right.
Like you said, yeah, these are things that have always happened in history, but now you have social media. Like, I mean, you are recording live in real time things that are happening, and more people are getting involved, and more people know. And so, you know, I think we need that platform. And, you know, you need overhead for business. You know, you can't really make a business function as a cash business.
Right.
Because you're always going to be dishing out money. You also don't want to fall into credit, right? So, into owing a bunch of credit and stuff, having a bunch of debt. So, I mean, yeah.
It's a tough question.
I mean, but you would, invest, if you think about just like what you need money for in a business. You know, $1 million in a business, it'll go like that. Right. You know, so definitely just probably like mass produce stuff, because at this point with Outspoken, with the BeOutspoken portion of it, I think we're gonna transition over into what's called let me see if I pronounce this right. Serigraphy? Serigraphy?
Not familiar.
Serigraphy. So it's screen printing, but it's another term for screen printing.
Okay.
Which is more like the art of screen printing, right? So separating commercial screen printing from screen printing as an art form.
Okay.
And whatnot. And so that's more of what we want to be, because eventually, I mean, we want to have like print documents and blogs, and we want to be a resource for people. So all of that would happen with $1 million.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We'd have a little zine. We'd have on the all-time photographer, journalist. You know what I'm saying? Like we'd be your media blackout type piece.
I love the way it sounds. I love the way it sounds. So let's think 5 years ahead now. Let's say let's say Viewturistic Media Enterprise was able to grant you with a magic paintbrush, and you could and Outspoken could be whatever you want it to be 5 years from now. Like what would that look like for you? Just tell me what a perfect 5 year from now scenario would look like for you.
I think I would like to have in 5 years. I'd like to have. I wish I could have. I hope.
No, say you will. We speak shit into existence.
I view Outspoken having 2 locations, right? Location in Milwaukee and location in Puerto Rico. But that we would be like a traveling, I don't know if exhibit is the word, right? Traveling exhibit, traveling gallery, where we host or, we provide the space for folks. But there's so many like community screen printers, West Coast, East Coast, even in Chicago, like we're freaking neighbors, and in Milwaukee, it's like nobody's really doing it. So to be able to travel to those different spaces, to different HBCUs and whatnot, and host these gallery spaces where through visual imagery and screen printing we're able to talk about social justice. If it's highlighting Milwaukee and things that happen here, because we get brushed under the rug, and there's a lot of stuff that happens in Milwaukee. They just suppress it. Like, you freaking bat an eye in Milwaukee, and they're like, whap, like everybody, getting rid of everybody.
Hey, I got my own thoughts and opinions on that issue. We'll talk about that later.
Definitely having those 2 spaces and being able to do this traveling gallery of visual imagery and screen printing.
So going to the
serigraphy.
Serigraphy.
We're gonna find out how to pronounce
look it up.
But serigraphy.
Okay, so I like that. Meeting the people where they are, no matter where they are. Okay, dig it. So I have to do my duty as a DJ, as DJ Adamocity. I have to bring some music into this.
Okay.
I need that. So if you could have, if it was one theme song, preferably hip hop, but I'm not gonna be biased. But if it was one theme song that you could pick that could play like outside, coming from the sky, whenever you walk into a room, like what song would that be to let us know like Leilani is in the building?
It would be Princess Nokia Brujas. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's all right. Like there's just like so much with like the where I've been, where I'm at, and where I want to be that is just in this woman, like, and she's young and she's powerful and weird.
Okay. I like weird.
Yes.
I'm a bit weird too.
Man, I mean, have you listened to Prince?
I haven't, but I'm going to now.
She's like, and the thing is, like, she's been, people in this community have known her for a minute, right? And like now I talk to my daughter and she's 14 and she's like, yeah, all the like YouTubers follow her and and she's like, I think a Calvin Klein model and Adidas and all kind of stuff, and you're like, oh.
Okay, word. So Princess Nokia, that's your theme music.
Yeah, and there's like, and Brujas, which is like, is witches, right?
Okay.
But you see, and I'm, you know, I'm gonna take credit for women. You see women doing this a lot right now, which is like taking back words, right? And reinventing them and reimagining. You had, you know, witch trials, and you had a lot of people whose lives have been affected by this word. Like even talking to my grandma, she's reading a book and she was just turned off by that. Oh, they talk a lot about witchcraft. And I'm like, well, what about this and this? And it turns out it was very much intertwined into her life, but it has a stigma. And so, you know, taking back that word brujas, and we just launched a shirt and it's brown and bruja. And it's powerful. Okay. It's powerful.
I like it. Cool. So we're gonna wrap that up there. We just talked about social media about, you know, a couple minutes ago in the interview, and how powerful that is. So go ahead and throw your social media plug in there right now. Tell people where they can find you at.
So we are on Twitter and Instagram at BeOutspoken MKE. Facebook.com/Outspoken Designs LLC.
Instagram? You on IG?
Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, same thing.
BeOutspoken MKE. And email, you can, I mean, if you're in, we do workshops and community events, fundraising, all kind of stuff. So you can shoot us an email, info@beoutspokenmke.com. Check out the website, www.beoutspokenmke.com. And yeah.
Definitely check out that website. They got some fly shit. So if you want some t-shirts, this the place to go. Any last piece of advice for somebody that's looking to start up their own thing? I know before we even started the camera rolling, we was talking about, you know, doing things that you love to do, actually following your heart, listening to your passions and things like that. Any advice for somebody that's in a position right now where they're like, man, I love doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm scared to take that leap?
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta go for it. For me, it doesn't get any easier. Every time I have to do things that I've done before, whatever, it's still pretty tough for me. But you just have to do it. You just have to put yourself out there. You have to take opportunities, and essentially you have to create opportunities. I think that might be the biggest thing. Create them, get with your homies, just think up some shit, come up with a plan, write it down, and execute.
All right, so thank you for your time. We actually gonna get downstairs and check out the workshop like I promised y'all. Thanks for hanging out with Viewturistic Media Enterprise. It's my homegirl Leilani. I'm DJ Adamocity. Until next time, if you can view it, you can do it. Peace. So as promised, we down here in the workshop where all the magic happens for Outspoken Designs. We don't want to give away too many of your secrets, but it'd be pretty cool if we could show some of our viewers what go on, how you get down when you're making shirts. And I mean, this shit is in high demand right now. You see a lot of people with a lot of different designs on shirts, and to know that I got somebody to come to whenever I need any type of design, it's a bonus for me. But go ahead and show the people what you do. How does this work? First of all, what the hell is this thing called?
We're gonna call this an octopus.
Fin.
So we have 4 arms and we have 4 stations, so you can ultimately print 4 colors, 4 shirts at a time.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, secrets of the trade, sure, but this all on YouTube now. You can find any of it online, you know. But it used to be like this, like top secret, like trade skill.
How the hell do they do that?
Yeah, and it was only like accessible to like people with money and, you know, people to use it who have money. So, you know, not everybody can get their hands in the pot. But you got the screen, you have a squeegee, some ink, you flood the screen. And once you line up your shirt, you press down. Now this screen, you know, the mesh is a little tighter. That means that less paint gets through, you know. So we'll see how this turns out today.
So what's the design on there? Is that one of yours or is this like a
custom? No. So this is a new piece. So it's kind of like a little marble look, right?
Okay.
Brown and Bruja, and it just speaks to black and brown women, indigenous women, Latina women.
That's what you mentioned.
Yeah, upstairs, and Bruja, you know, we're freaking magical. Brujas, witches.
Okay. So, is this like, as far as like the designs and stuff that you come up with, like how do you usually come up with those? Is it usually like on demand, somebody asks you to do something, or are you just sitting around brainstorming and like, oh shit, that'll be dope? Some of everything. I think I want to get more into what drives me and what I want to do. I want to get more away from maybe printing for other folks. I want to give folks access to printing and you know, more teaching the skills and connecting that to social justice. So, like this Brown and Bruja piece, I think is more where we're going. The hood vibes, good vibes. You know, just making a lot of different stuff for the people, for community, and just, you know, empowering messages. Okay. I know you mentioned that you do what was the little event that you used to put on? Was it Sip and Print? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like what went down? How did that look?
Yeah, so we do parties monthly, and they would be themed. So like we did a you know, Mother's Day kind of, Mamas in the Revolution kind of theme, and we had some Father's Day screens. I think we might have done a couple more, but even when we go out in community, we try to bring screens that speak to the communities that we're going to. And that way folks can come by, either buy a print. Sometimes we have paper prints for free. You come by, screen print, and you have something to keep.
How long is like the process to like take from start to finish? Like let's say you came up with a concept or the design to get it onto the screen and, you know, set everything up. Like how long does that usually take?
Well, once you have your design, you print it on a transparency. Should I go grab one?
Yeah, I think
film positive.
The things that you used to put on in class, that the teacher used to write on, and the boring shit.
It's a transparency type thing. It's a film positive, but you tape it to the back of a screen that's been coated with this photo emulsion. So it looks like a paint you put on there, but it's light sensitive. Put the film positive on there. You have an exposure unit, which is a black light. It exposes the image on there. You wash it out, and then you have your screen. And then, like we started earlier, you coat it and you flood it, and then you cut.
Alright. So, well, like I said,
easy peasy, but you know, it could take a little bit, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I dabbled a little bit. I don't know too much. I ain't no master at it like you, but you know, it frustrated me. So, major props to you for like running this whole operation.
You know, it's not easy. They have classes in Chicago. I can't forget through what company, but apparently, like, I couldn't afford it. It was like $300. But I heard that the owner, the guy that runs it, is like, you know, he does these classes because one, if you're willing to pay for it, you're willing to go a little further. But only a small percentage of the people, even in those classes, are going to keep going with it. That's why you can find stuff on Craigslist and for resale and stuff like that. Because folks go all in, and it's not an easy process.
Okay.
So we've been 5 years growing, but we started with vinyl.
Okay.
We had a little vinyl cutter, heat press, peeling, you know what I'm saying? Now if I mess up a screen, I count my blessings. I just wash it out and coat it and start over.
There you go. 5 years later, you know, you got the operation running to where it's just like clockwork.
Yeah.
So.
So we also have a mobile screen printing cart, and that's what we take to events too. We also print at festivals.
Okay. Did you do any big festivals this last summer, or it's still something?
We printed at Milwaukee. We printed at Locust Street Days.
Okay.
I can't remember if we did Center Street Days.
Okay, so it's pretty much like a instant. Somebody could come in and place their order right there, and then they just get it right away.
Yep. So it's like a cart, and then it has these 4 units, and so we put 4 different screens on them, and then it has one of these stations.
Okay.
So we put a shirt on there. You pick your screen that's already pre-made. You print it yourself, and you take home a.
Hey, you definitely living up to what you said. You are for the people. You meet them where they at. I dig that. All right, well, thanks for inviting me into your space, and be looking forward in soon a later video for me to be rocking some BeOutspoken Designs. So, all right, we'll check y'all out.
Subscribe.